The View blasted for calling the U.S. misogynist after Clinton and Harris losses. Guys, no. Now, guys, are there going to be some people who specifically voted against them because they are women? Absolutely. Is that the majority? No. All right. So, if you're going to go ahead and say the U.S. as meaning everyone in the U.S., then you're wrong. I think personally, guys, and I don't even think that it's probably more than 10% of the people. Guys, all right. The problem is that specifically when it comes to Clinton, Clinton had a lot of baggage, a gigantic amount of baggage that was just not going to work for her on the world stage specifically. Now, Harris only really was looking to help women. All right, so if you started to realize immediately, the Democrat Party started having somewhat of a man problem when she started running, probably even more so. Okay, if the Democrat Party specifically, exclusively, has turned into the party of women exclusively, how are you going to expect, let's say, the masses to consistently push for this candidate? I do think that there will be, in fact, a woman president. All right, good on you. Good, do your thing. No complaints here, guys. Right, but I do not think it's going to be a Democrat. I'm telling you, like the first woman president is absolutely going to be a Republican. Yeah. She's going to be very traditionally minded. She's going to understand the concept of nuclear family. She's not going to push the concept of like the boss babe type of scenario that men en masse tend to have disdain for, guys. Right? Not specifically a successful woman is what comes with said successful woman, the mentality shift. I think that's from what I've been hearing, at least from a couple of my buddies around me and things like that, right? But I don't think that the U.S. is just completely misogynist because they don't want to back your ideology. All right. But either way, let's go and jump into this immediately to see where this takes us, guys. This is a suggestion via a channel member.
Meantime, former National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan denying claims that President Biden forgot his name. Listen to this.
Happen? I do not recall that ever happening.
What?
And I will tell you, Joe Biden knows my name. I had to wake the president up in the middle of the night when there were crises. I did that over the course of the 4 years, and I saw him operating, decision-making, executing as commander-in-chief throughout that time.
Yeah, and these were claims made in Jake Tapper and Alex Thompson's new book, Fox News contributor and senior writer for the Washington Examiner.
Guys, for a second, I honestly thought that he just said that Joe Biden forgot his own name. All right, like forgetting the name of some random person, even though you know, well, how about this? No, if you see him on a regular basis, you probably wouldn't forget. Okay, no, this is a problem. This was just a problem. Yeah, that's where I'm at here. That was just a problem.
Joe Concha joins us now. Joe, what do you make of this situation?
Well, Carly, Todd, there are three choices on this one, and they ain't good, all right? One, Biden wasn't communicating at all with his national security advisor as the commander-in-chief, or Biden forgot the name of his national security advisor, Jake Sullivan, called him Steve twice in front of a room full of people, or C, all the above, which I'm going with, because you just look at the numbers, guys.
Hey, Joe.
Do you know how many cabinet meetings? Yeah.
We got to interrupt you because we got to see the president right now. He's getting ready to depart Abu Dhabi after a successful week in the Middle East. Let's take a look at this live video. He was able, as you know, to secure massive investment deals for the U.S., raking in billions of dollars in business while strengthening Middle East alliances. Trump expected to arrive back at the White House just before 10 p.m. Eastern tonight. And as we look at this shot, him getting ready to board Air Force One after saying goodbye to some of the world leaders there, the importance and the monumentousness of this trip cannot be overstated. Like we talked about earlier with Dr. Rebecca Grant, this will be one for the history books. This could potentially change history and the way we approach the Middle East, both the United States and the world as well, Carl.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, guys, he's going to end up as like some type of Nobel Peace Prize. Don't get me wrong here. I'm almost positive that presidents have absolutely been doing a good amount of the things that Trump has been doing, but they just haven't filmed it, right? And I think, Trump really is, in fact, the content president of the planet here, or a content leader. He produces it. I like the fact that everything is actually being filmed consistently, because I think this is probably going to push him to some type of Nobel type of thing, but I highly doubt the actual Nobel, like the people who put it together, want anything to do with him because, they're biased here. They don't see what's actually happening in front of their face here. But this is absolutely impressive that he's actually showing us that these things are are happening, because we tend to be a very visual type of people, guys.
I mean, we're talking a whole lot of money that is going to come in as a result of this trip. And also, the president met on the sidelines with the new president of Syria, something that wasn't even initially reported was going to take place. But when he made that announcement about potentially normalizing relations with the country, that also took place. A huge deal that will have implications for that country and also the overall landscape of the Middle East. So the president is going to be boarding Air Force One, and I think he and the people on the plane will say, "Job well done, Mr. President. A whole lot was done."
And Joe, let's deal you back in here through the media lens, because, I mean, look, we understand that the media maybe doesn't like the Doge cuts, doesn't like Donald Trump's immigration. But how can anybody in the media that covers the world, that covers history, that covers news, look at this trip and say it was anything other than a success, Joe?
Because they're biased. They do not want to showcase any of the wins that are actually happening here. They do not, guys. Like, see, Trump understands how the rest of these countries kind of function, let's say, outside of the West. I think he has a much better understanding than the majority of the people coming from the left and on CNN, mainly, right? He just exudes a little bit more masculinity in places and where it's absolutely a necessity to exist within masculinity exclusively, guys, right? And this is why the left and CNN hates him. That's it, right? I mean, he has not like neutered himself.
On a scale of 1 to 10, this was absolutely a 10, Todd, as far as success is concerned. And again, just look at the numbers as far as the trillions in investment that Donald Trump has tapped into by stabilizing relations in the Middle East. I mean, he is getting more done now. He's only in office barely 4 months than Joe Biden obviously was able to in 4 years. So overall, yes, this has been a very successful trip. On the home front as well, we saw Edon Alexander. He was released finally by Hamas. We're seeing tariff deals being done with the UK and China, one upcoming with India, 0 for 0 tariffs. So
that would be a really good one with India, because, guys, they tariff our products in an unnecessarily crazy manner.
Probably had this president and Trump the best 2 weeks of any time in his presidencies, and I'm talking first term, and I'm talking now. The poll numbers are certainly shifting as well. We saw in Rasmussen an 11-point swing upwards for the president. He's doing especially well among millennials. That's where he's polling best of all age groups. So right now, if you're the Democratic Party, what's your answer? Yeah. Because you went off on the tariffs, you went off on all these things, and now they all seem to be coming Trump's way, the country's way. They don't seem to have any solutions at this point, Carly.
And just speaking of Democrats, Connecticut Congressman Jim Himes, he told Politico, I think the president has in his last week or so played the Middle East pretty darn well. He said that he's not in the habit of praising this president, but I gotta give him some kudos there.
Not all Democrats are on board with the Trump administration, as you might or may not know. The View co-host Sunny Hostin now facing backlash for her take on Kamala Harris and Hillary Clinton's election losses too, said Donald Trump. Listen.
We lost twice when women ran.
Yeah.
I mean,
but is there no distinguishing factors to each woman and why they might have lost? Is there no nuance?
Hillary Clinton was one of the most qualified candidate in presidential. She carried, and then
they did all those things.
This country is a misogynistic country, and this country is a country that, out of all of the first world countries, hasn't been able to elect a female president. That's just factual.
30 seconds to you, Joe. Nothing to do with the fact that Kamala couldn't answer simple questions without a word salad, and nothing to do with the fact that Hillary skipped Wisconsin.
Wow, Sonny, again, Hostin, I know.
No, I mean, listen, I get what you're trying to do here, but there was a lot more baked into these reasonings, but let's continue.
Watching. How, again, did Hillary Clinton win the popular vote in 2016 when she ran for president? How did she even get the nomination if we live in a misogynist country? Kamala Harris ran for president in 2019. Are you saying Democrat voters are also misogynist because they rejected her then? That's a heck of a way to talk about voters in your own party. To your point, Todd, when Kamala Harris spoke outside of a teleprompter, she became a human Chernobyl. She ran a horrible campaign. That's why she lost, not because of her gender.
Well, Joe, we wrap up our week here on Fox and Friends First with you as the president wraps.
Okay, guys. Okay. So they waited for the end here to kind of get into the crux of the issue here. Again, guys, no, I'm not going to sit here and adhere to that level of nonsense and wildness here. All right. There are people, in fact, who did not want either of them because they're women. This is it's a factual statement here, right? But is it every single person? No, bro. It's much more than that. I think people have the ability to kind of look past just the immediate ignorance, if that makes any sense. They can, okay, I don't like this person, but are they going to go ahead and give me and deliver like actual policies that mean something to me and my family and I? No, they're offering me nothing. Kamala Harris had nothing to say to my household. Okay, like nothing that she had to offer was going to be beneficial. And in fact, at the minute she legitimately said she was looking to raise taxes specifically for a specific tax bracket, and I'm just like, mine? Forget it. You're gone. I paid too much in taxes already. I hate paying taxes. Okay, I hate it. Okay, I don't get money back. That's not a thing. It's not a thing. I like my tax bill is absolutely absurd. Okay. So when you say you want to raise my taxes more, bro, are you crazy? No, absolutely not. Right. And my wife really doesn't have any interest in any of the brand, let's say, of feminism that she espouses. Right. So it doesn't make any, so nothing was appealing to the household that she had to say. Right. None of it meant anything. Right. In terms of Kamala Harris, at least. Clinton, Republicans just hate her, right? I'm not a super fan of Clinton either, right? But Republicans just hate her. And because Republicans hate her, like they made her you know what I'm saying? The punching bag, what tends to happen sometimes, right? She wasn't gonna win, bro, because I'm telling you, you're not gonna win middle America. You're not gonna win middle America, Hillary Clinton. Not large scale, at least. I mean, I get it. You got popular vote. That's like the majority of the cities. Congratulations. That was a guarantee. But all right, listen, guys, let me know in the comments what you guys think. I do think that Trump is going to win pretty largely off of this press blitz that he's basically been doing out in Riyadh and Abu Dhabi, right? He's been doing a lot, guys, right? Trying to bring Putin and Vladimir Zelensky together, guys. Working on Palestine and Israel. Like, he's doing a lot, bro. I'm telling you, his plate is full. Right. So I think that he needs to get some type of recognition for what he's actually, he is trying to implement change on this planet. And I do respect that. Okay. And again, I've never been a super fan of this man. Right. I'm not a fanboy. Okay. I'm not. I'm from New York. I'm not a super fan of Donald Trump. But I'm also not an idiot. I absolutely have common sense. And when it came down to specifically who was more interesting to the household, is probably going to be a Republican consistently, most likely for the next multiple decades, because the Democrat Party has lost their mind, bro. I don't care who it is, who's running against the Democrat. Okay, all right. If your policies align, we're good, bro. Okay, I absolutely will flip flop on the Democrat and Republican Party. I definitely will, purely based off of who is running their overall policies and their ability to affect my household. Period, guys. And I think personally, that's how most people should be. Don't get locked into some party. Do not fall in love with a candidate. None of these things. Don't ever do that, bro. All right. But all right, you guys all have an absolutely amazing day. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Join the conversation, guys. All right. I'll catch you guys later.